I don't know whose idea it was to cast Snoop Dogg as a vampire hunter, but whoever you are, bravo. Bravo, sir or madam. Bravo. Welcome, Netflix fans. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Day Shift hits Netflix tomorrow, and this was one pleasant surprise where we follow Jamie Foxx as an LA blue-collar hardworking dad who has 1 week to come up with the cash to pay for his kids' tuition and braces. But trying to make a living these days just might kill him, as his mundane San Fernando Valley pool cleaning job is just a front to his real source of income, hunting and killing vampires. Now, if I'm entirely honest with you, I was not sold on this trailer whatsoever. I love Jamie Foxx, I love the vampire subgenre in film, but that trailer just did absolutely nothing for me. However, watching this film, they mix the style and sense of humor of From Dusk Till Dawn with the violence and gore from Blade, creating one bonkers fun ride through the sun-drenched streets of LA. When you have the charm and the charisma of a Jamie Foxx leading your film, you're off to a pretty damn great start, and he's a blast to watch in this film. He's clearly having fun being this badass, kick-ass vampire hunter who's off on the sidelines. He's not part of the union anymore because he doesn't respect the rules, and that has caused a rift in his job, but also in his family. You've seen this archetype 1,000 times before, and that's exactly why you need that charm and charisma that Jamie Foxx brings with him. He can be compelling, he can be emotive, but he's here to kick ass first and foremost. Further elaborating on my intro, Snoop Dogg playing Big John, or as he was known back on his heyday, the Black Cowboy. Look, he's honestly just playing Snoop Dogg, but Snoop Dogg as a badass vampire hunter smoking a blunt as he comes in with a minigun and just slays vampire left, right, and center. It's awesome. I had a huge, stupid, dumb-looking smile on my face, and I'm betting you probably did too. Really, the whole cast is great. Dave Franco even has some show-stealing scenes. The whole film is riddled with this tongue-in-cheek, self-aware, self-referential humor that kind of makes it the superior version, the actual good version of what Bright wanted to be. Remember Bright? No, you don't, and that's why we have Day Shift now. But before I move on with my review, I need you to start the conversation on Day Shift in the comments below if you're excited, if you've seen it, anything and everything down there. And if you're enjoying this review, if you love movies and TV, this is the place to be. So consider clicking that subscribe button and you will not miss any future conversations in your favorite movies and TV. On with the review! But even with a really fun humor that allows for some over-the-top elements to the film that make it so much fun to watch, what you want to watch this film for is the immaculate stunt work. The film is directed by J.J. Perry, a name you might not recognize, but he, much like a David Leitch, a Chad Stahelski, is a storied Hollywood stuntman, and he has done so much that you probably have not realized, just like I didn't, but it explains how this film looks so great. There's a chase scene that reminded me of what we recently saw in Barry Season 3. There's another one that reminded me of the chase scene from Terminator 2 Judgment Day. The film is chock full of these beautifully choreographed and sensationally shot action sequences that are a wet dream for action junkies like me. My favorite sequence in the entire film is when Jamie Foxx, Dave Franco, and these two brothers, one of them played by the underrated Scott Adkins, go into a hive of vampires and just slay them in the most imaginative, creative, gory, and visually spectacular ways you can imagine. This sequence just captures entirely why the stunt work in this film is so bonkers but also so good. You have expert stuntmen behind and in front of the camera. It elevates the action set pieces to see it all captured so viscerally and so clearly on camera with real people executing these insane stunts. And I was a happy action junkie. Honestly, the amount and most importantly quality of the action entirely justifies you clicking play when it hits Netflix. Because story, characterizations, vampires, and even vampire lore in general falls very flat. Jamie Foxx's family dynamic is just fine. It's very paper thin, it's very by the numbers. The story, the way it plays out is very by the numbers, but you can accept that. The villains themselves, Carla Souza and the guy who played Ulrich in Netflix's Dark, I'm forgetting his name, but it's right here on the screen right now. They're both great, but as characters, they're relegated to just be generic, menacing-looking, evil vampires, just like any other evil vampires from any other vampire film. The characterization in general is weak. The film tries to establish this personal connection that drives our main villain to be at odds with Jamie Foxx, but it doesn't really work. It's just mentioned once and you're like, oh, okay, that's why you're angry at him, I guess. I wish the world building would have done something new, something fresh, something to add to the vampire lore that was unique to this film, but it really doesn't. They're vampires and that's perfectly fine, but it just doesn't allow this film to stand out from the pack within the genre, to the point where if you replace vampires with zombies or with werewolves or with any other fantasy creature, the film essentially plays out the same, which is a shame because when it comes to the action, I hope we see more from J.J. Perry directing. I hope we see more from this world, but they learn from the mistakes and lessons learned in this film. So unfortunately, Day Shift didn't turn out to be the best Netflix movie. I don't even think it's the best Netflix movie of the year, but I really appreciate the way it brought stunt work to life on camera in a very visceral way. This is a fun watch and quite surprised me from what I was expecting. I just saw the potential for more. Day Shift is a pleasant surprise that mixes the style and humor of From Dusk Till Dawn with the violence and action of Blade. The performances are fun, but the immaculate action choreography and absolutely bonkers on-camera stunt work is the standout. Like I said, this is what Bright should have been. I'm giving Day Shift a B-. But that's only what I thought of Day Shift. I need you to start a conversation about it in the comments below once you see it tomorrow on Netflix. And big shout out to Netflix UK for granting me a chance to watch this one early. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to my channel members for always supporting the channel. And I'll be back very soon, so until then, love each other and love the movies.